is our headquarters temple. Beautiful place. It's in, you see, like countryside, but it's not in the middle of nowhere. It's beside a town called Navadip, and there's a beautiful lake here called Govindakund, and here there's the river Ganges. So it's in a beautiful spot. And our master, Srila B.R. Maharaj, he founded in 1942 this temple, and we came in 1982, 40 years later, and this is the home of our heart. All right, so we've been listening to Srila B.R. Maharaj speaking this morning and helping us to understand about spiritual life. And do you know of Bhagavad Gita? Have you heard of Bhagavad Gita? No.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. Okay. Bhagavad Gita is a small book, and Guru Maharaj Srila B.R. Maharaj was just talking something about Arjuna, because Krishna is giving instruction to Arjuna, but that instruction, that conversation is for us all to hear. It's about the science of life, that we're not, like we said just now, we're not the body, we're living in the body. And when the body finishes, it just means we cannot live in it anymore. Like your motor car. Your motor car, you get a new car, we're all very happy, our BMW. But after some time, the mechanic keeps fixing, and then one day the mechanic says, no, you've got to take it. You can't use it anymore, you have to get a new car. So it's like that. Body, we go to the mechanic, the doctor, he fixes it a few times, and then one day he says, sorry, prepare. And we should prepare, we should be prepared so that we know what is leaving the body and how to make our life progressive, upgrade, not degrade. Nobody wants someone to be degraded. No one, if you have, I don't know if you're a father, if you have children, you don't want them to be degraded, you want your children to do well, to come up. And so our life as an adult, we should be trying to be upgraded, looking upwards all the time. So anyway, we'll continue traditional morning program as a representation of the programs that take place here. And here in London we'll continue, and we can chant whatever we want to chant. Hare Krishna. Dandavat. Okay. Everything good?
Yes, Maharaj.
And you see, when this is in India, this marking you see on the devotee's face.
I was just thinking, I forgot my...
You forgot your head. Oh, it happens.
I forgot my head. Where did I...
It happens.
But
this, in India, there are many markings, on the forehead. And when you...
Beautiful markings.
And very beautiful, yeah. But when you see people, then you can understand, where is their faith? Because... maybe you haven't heard much about India, but India is very varied as far as spiritual consciousness, religious life, yogi life, meditation life. And so there's Ramachandra, Vishnu, Narayan, Krishna, and we are here in the line of Krishna. And Krishna is the embodiment of joy, sweetness, beauty. And as our Gurudev says, how can we get happiness and joy if we ignore the very personification of happiness and joy? And that's the Supreme Lord who's made everything. He's made consciousness, He's made us without identity, but consciousness is meant for joy, not for suffering. But we have a proper way to get joy, not exploiting and cheating from others, but actually by dedication we get nourishing joy, lasting joy. And dedicating to the Lord and to His agents, those who are already dedicated to Him, helping Him. This is the key for our change of consciousness in the world. And
Power off.
Thank you very much. And we can do that by chanting constantly the names of the Lord. And so there are many names. He's got many features, many natures. And particularly we're chanting this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which is here, which is the name, the loving names of the loving Lord. All right. So we can sing these two mantras just for a couple of minutes and then we'll come to the songbook. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. And we can then sing on page 126 in the songbook. You can give Simon a song. Simon, isn't it?
It is on,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so
Could I have one?
they'll give you a songbook and maybe you can sing along if you're happy to, or otherwise you can also see the translation of what we are singing. And we are always saying we have two eyes. One eye we can see the original text, and the other eye we can read the Sanskrit, or read the translation rather. So 1, 2, 6. Paramakaruna. But who's from Venezuela? No one's from Venezuela here. Saraswati is from Venezuela. They have the Paramakaruna Nitai Gaura Chanda temple there. So maybe I'll sing it to the wrong beat. Normally in the morning we try to do 1, 2, 3, but I may not be successful, but we can do 1, 2 at least. You know the 1, 2, 3 beat for Paramakaruna?
The 3 beats?
1, 2, 3.
It can be like the...
That's 1, 2. Oh yeah. Yes. Okay. You can sing. Paramakaruna kahudurita Nitai. But loudly sing, so we can hear. Loudly. Parama Karuna Bahudui Jana Nitai Gora Chandra Saba Avatara Sara Shiromani Kevala Ananda Kanda Bhaja Bhaja Bhai Chaitanya Nitai Sudrita Vishwasa Kori Vishaya Chariya Sera Se Majiya Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari Kore bhai tribhuvane nai emon doyal jata Kashubhaki chure bhashana virore shuni jara gunagata Sare Magia Rohili Poriya Se Pare Nahi Lo Asha Apana Karama Punjaye Shamana Koye Lochana Data Parama Karuna Jaya Nitai Gaura Chandra Parama Karuna Jaya Nitai Gaura Chandra Jaya Parama Karuna Nitai Gaura Chandra Parama Karuna Jaya Nitai Gaura Chandra Lord Nitai and Lord Gaurachandra are the two most merciful lords. They are the crest jewels of all incarnations and the only source of transcendental ecstatic joy. O brother, I implore you to worship Sri Chaitanya Nitai with firm faith. Give up your attachment to sense gratification and merge into the nectar of chanting the names of Hari. Hari simply means the Lord. Look, O brother, there are no benefactors in the three worlds who are as merciful as them. Even birds and animals are fulfilled, and stones melt by hearing the glories of their qualities. Absorbed in the cycle of birth and death, having fallen by the wayside without any hope for achieving their company, the Lord of Death will come and make you suffer the results of your activities. So sings Lord Chandas. All very sweet, and then a little kick at the end. Don't stay in this world. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari So in the morning we do arati, first at 6 o'clock means worship, traditional worship, and then from 7 until 8 means 1 hour. We have a program here in the temple, and as you can see they also broadcast so people can see at home. And at the moment, so we sing for a little while, and then we've already been listening to our Guru Maharaj speaking, Srila B.R. Maharaj giving some talk. We've been hearing his words in a clear lecture. And now we are going to read Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is a big book. It's got several volumes. It's a big book, but don't worry, it's a wonderful book. We get very addicted to it. It is very sweet. And it's about the deity that you did see, but now we don't see. But the deity here is Gauranga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this song, saying Lord Nitai and Lord Gaura Chandra, this is the deity here, they're from about 500 years ago and understood to be the Lord himself coming to teach the Vedas, which have come from him, the books of knowledge which came thousands of years ago into the world, and coming to teach the conclusion of the Vedas. And Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he's showing that chanting the holy name with love and affection, chanting the Lord's name with love and affection, is the real medicine for our suffering in the world, but it's the real nourishment in the upper world for the joy of service to the Lord, being at his disposal. And that's our proper position. It shouldn't be that the Lord is our servant, we are his servant. We are for him. So beautiful things. So we're going to continue reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, and whatever you understand, you understand. If you don't understand anything, it doesn't matter. It's still a good sound vibration to be in, and we'll try to help you along. We'll try to help each other along. It's not that we understand everything at all, but we are trying to be students of our masters, and we're following a morning program and our life. We're trying to follow our life in accordance with their guidance, and this morning program is quite traditional there. Hare Krishna. So, what has happened? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is on the altar, is in Jagannath Puri. India is a triangle. Jagannath Puri is on the east side, on the coast, and now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's there. This is 500 years ago. No trains and aeroplanes and buses. He's going to go from here by foot all the way across northern India and to basically south of Delhi by about, 130 kilometers south of Delhi, or miles, not sure, 100 miles or so south of Delhi. Present-day Delhi, a place called Vrindavan. So he's going to go there, but he's in Puri now, and now he's about to start his journey by foot. So this is where we are in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So first we give glory to the book, Jai Jai, Sri Chaitanya Jai. First we give glory to the book, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai, and its author, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Ki Jai. And then we traditionally start by saying Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. And this is to our masters. Jaya Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar, Govinda, Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jaya Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rokko Krida, Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. And Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who revealed the Chaitanya Charitamrita to the world with verses, word by word, translation, and explanation sometimes in the whole of the book. And I think it's around 11,000 verses is the total book. But it's a wonderful book. It takes months to read, but When we get to the end, we go back to the beginning. It's a very joyful book to read. All right. So to our masters ki jai and to Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. So Bengali, so many have come to meet with the Lord. And yes, so now Gadadhar Pandit, so these are many names. And Gadadhar Pandit also came and met the Lord. Then, in front of all the devotees, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to speak as follows. So we're reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, the middle section. There are 3 sections. Madhya Leela, chapter 16, text 256 is where we're starting today. So Mahaprabhu is speaking to the devotees who've come to see him. Brindavana Jaba Ami Gora Desha Diya Nija Matara Gangara Charana Dekhiya. It was my decision to go to Brindavan through Bengal in order to see my mother and the river Ganges. Next verse. Thus I went to Bengal, but thousands of devotees began to follow me. Many hundreds of thousands of people came to see me out of curiosity, because he'd taken sannyas, he'd become a monk, he was their family, he was the joy of everyone in Navadip, but he took sannyas and left from that town, became a monk, renounced order and left. So they came to see him out of curiosity. And due to such a large crowd, I could not travel very freely on the road. Indeed, the crowd was so large that the house and the boundary walls of the house where I stayed were destroyed. And wherever I looked, I could see only large crowds. Okay, let's catch up with the Bengali. So, Ettamate, thus I went to Bengal, but thousands joined. Ettamate kori kailung gorera gamana sahasrika sange hoila nija bhaktagana laksha loka aise kautuka dekite lokera sanghete patta na pari chalite jatarahi tata ghara prachira hoya churna jata netra pare tata loka deki purna. Then kashti shrishche kari gelanya, actually Rama Kaligrama, Amara Tai Aila, Rupa Sanatana Nama. So that verse is Mahaprabhu still speaking. With great difficulty I went to the town of Ramakeli, where I met the 2 brothers named Rupa and Sanatan. Dui Bhai Bhakta Raja Krishna Kripa Patra Vyavahare Raja Mantri Hoya Raja Patra. These 2 brothers are great devotees and suitable recipients of Krishna's mercy. But in their ordinary dealings they are government officials, ministers to the king. Srila Rupa and Sanatana are very much experienced in education, devotional service, intelligence and strength, and yet they think themselves inferior to straw in the street. So that verse, Vidya Bhakti Buddhi Bole Parama Pravina Tabu Apanake Mane Trina Hoite Hina. And you can understand some of the Bengali. She's Bengali young lady, but this Bengali is called Sadhu Bhasa. It's not the same Bengali that's spoken to go and buy rice and things in the shop. It's a different kind of Bengali. But still can understand something. Next verse. Indeed, the humility of these 2 brothers, Rupa and Sanatan, could even melt stone. Because I was very pleased with their behavior, I told them, although you are both very much exalted, you consider yourselves inferior, and because of this Krishna will very soon deliver you. Now Chintamani is thinking about her question yesterday. But Mahaprabhu was very pleased by their nature, you see. Next verse is, indeed I read that verse. Next verse is, Ettakahi is saying this, Ami jabe vidaya tari dila, gamana kale sanatan praheli kahila, jara sange hoya e loka laksha koti, Vrindavana jai bar e nahi paripati. Then, after speaking to them in this way, I bade them farewell. But as I was leaving, Sanatan said to me, it is not appropriate for one to be followed by a crowd of thousands when going to Vrindavan. Tabu ami shunilun matra, na kailun avadhana, prate chale ailanata, Kanaira Natashala Grama. Yesterday I was trying to remember this name of how far Mahaprabhu got. He got to a village called Kanaira Natashala. Although I heard this, I did not pay it any attention. And in the morning I went to the place named Kanaira Natashala. At night, however, I considered what Sanatan had told me. I decided that Sanatan had spoken very well. I was certainly being followed by a large crowd, and when people would see so many men, they would surely rebuke me, saying, here is another impostor. Then, Durlabha Durgama, se Nijana Vrindavana, Ekaki Jaiba Kiba Sange Ekajana. I then began to consider that Vrindavan is a very solitary place. It is invincible and very difficult to attain. I therefore decided to go there alone, or at the utmost with only one person. And in the verse there is also Durlabha, which means very rare. It's very rare to go to Vrindavan. Maravendra Puri tata gela ekeshvare, Dugda dana chale Krishna shakshat dilatare. Maravapuri went to Vrindavan alone, and Krishna, on the pretext of giving him milk, granted him an audience. I then understood that I was going to Vrindavan like a magician with his show, and this is certainly not good. No one should go to Vrindavan with so many men. I have therefore resolved to go alone, or at the utmost with one servant. In this way, my journey to Vrindavan will be beautiful. That verse, Ekka Jaiba, Kiba Songe, Britya Ekka Jana. Tabe se Shobhaya Vrindavanera Gamana. It will be a very beautiful journey. Next, Vrindavana, Jabakaha, Ekaki Hoya, Sanya Sange Chalayache, and Dhaka Bhajana. I thought, instead of going to Vrindavan alone, I am going with soldiers and the beating of drums. Dik, dik, fie on me, fie on me. This was the translation. Dik, dik. But, I am very bad. I therefore said, fie upon me. And being very much agitated, I returned to the banks of the Ganges. Next verse. I then left all the devotees there and brought only 5 or 6 persons with me. Bhaktagane, Rahya, Ainu, Nija Nija Stani, Ama Sange, Aila, Sobe, Pancha, Choya, Jane. Next verse. Now I wish that you all will be pleased with me and give me good consultation. Tell me how I shall be able to go to Vrindavan without impediments. I left Gadadhar Pandit here, and he became very unhappy. This devotee's name is Gadadhar Pandit. Das, servant of Gadadhar Pandit. I left Gadadhar Pandit here, and he became very unhappy. And for this reason, I could not go to Vrindavan. Mahaprabhu was feeling that by going, he's making the devotees unhappy, so he's not able to go freely. Tabe Gadadhar Pandit prema vishta hoya Prabhupada dhari kahi vinaya kariya. Being encouraged by Mahaprabhu's words, Gadadhar Pandit became absorbed in ecstatic love. Immediately clasping the lotus feet of the Lord, Gadadhar Pandit began to speak with great humility. What did he say? He said, Tumi jaha jaha raha, taha Vrindavana, taha Jamuna, Ganga, Savatita Guna. And you probably know what that means, more or less. Wherever you stay is Vrindavan, as well as the river Jamuna, the river Ganga, and all other places of pilgrimage. Next verse. Although wherever you stay is Vrindavan, you will still go to Vrindavan just to instruct people. Otherwise, you will do whatever you think is best. Acha. And I mentioned there are explanations, and this is the first explanation. All those other verses didn't have, but this explanation is running into many pages, several pages. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. And in the purport, various things are here. Materialists consider Vrindavan Dham an unclean city because there are many monkeys and dogs there. And along the banks of the Jamuna there is refuse. But such a person cannot understand that the earthly Vrindavan Dham is always a representation of the original Vrindavan Dham, the place of Lord Krishna's pastimes. Consequently, Vrindavan Dham is as worshipable as Lord Krishna. According to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Sri Krishna and his abode, Vrindavan, are equally worshipable. Sometimes materialistic people who have no spiritual understanding go to Vrindavan as tourists. One who goes to Vrindavan with such materialistic vision cannot derive any spiritual benefit. Hare Krishna. Okay, it is a long purport about how to see the Dham, go to the Dham. Hare Krishna, a long purport. Homework for those who wish to have homework.
What verse number?
281. Oh, there we are. A homework lady with a notebook. And you do give me separation from my notebooks, by the way. There we are. I had notebooks twice. Oh, yeah, well, twice. But 2 times got stolen. In India, it's very difficult not to get things stolen. And anyhow, it happens. And we lived in India for quite a few years, so we do have this experience. And we can think other things get stolen. There's a message, but our own notes, a little bit irreplaceable. But we can't take them with us when we go. We have to have our notes in our heart also. Okay, next verse. So taking this opportunity, Gadadhar Pandit said, just now the 4 months of the rainy season have begun, Chaturmasya. You should therefore spend the next 4 months in Jagannath Puri. After remaining here for 4 months, you will be free to do as you like. Actually, no one can stop you from going or remaining. Shuni sabha bhakta kahe prabhura charane sabakara icha pandita koila nivedane. So upon hearing this statement, all the devotees present at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stated that Gadadhar Pandit had properly presented their desire. Being requested by all the devotees, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu agreed to remain at Jagannath Puri for 4 months. Hearing this, King Prataparudra became very happy. The king, that's the king of the area, Prataparudra Maharaj Prataparudra. Sedina, that day, Gadadhar Koila Nimantrana, Gadadhar made an invitation. Taha Bhiksha Koila Prabhu Loya Bhaktakana. That day, Gadadhar Pandit extended an invitation to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Lord took his lunch at his place with the other devotees. And you know where that place is, Chintamani, where Gadadhar invited Mahaprabhu to take lunch. Tota Gopinath. Where is Tota Gopinath?
It's near the Chatak Parvat.
Yes.
Down the street from the ocean.
And you remember it?
Yes.
Okay, very good. They were there recently. The first time, is it? Or you've been there to Chatak Parvat before?
It is my second time, or my third time.
Third time? Okay. Then
The first time with these...
the devotees. Okay.
I went as a vagabond before, but now I have a home.
Hare Krishna. Oh dear. So, anyway, we've got another book to read. So, no ordinary human being can possibly describe Gadadhar Pandit's affectionate presentation of food or of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's tasting this food. E mata gora lila ananta apara sankshepe kohiye sankshepe kohiye kaha na jaya vistara. And you may understand that. In this way, Mahaprabhu performs his pastimes which are unlimited and unfathomable. Somehow or other, these have been briefly described. It is not possible to describe them elaborately. And in fact, that one verse just now, saying this is about the invitation of Gadadhar Pandit to have his lunch at his place, which we just heard, Chatak Parvat, the Gopinath temple. But just that one verse, no ordinary human being can possibly describe Gadadhar Pandit's affectionate presentation of food to Mahaprabhu, or Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's tasting this food, relishing that food. Hare Krishna. Next verse, although Lord Anantadev, Sahasravadane, although Lord Anantadev is always describing the pastimes of the Lord with his thousands of mouths, he cannot reach the end of even one of the Lord's pastimes. And now, last verse of this chapter, Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pare Jarasha Chaitanya Charitamrita Kohe Krishna Rasa, praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunatha, always desiring their mercy. I, Krishna Das, narrate Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. So that's the end of chapter 16. And then tomorrow start chapter 17, when Mahaprabhu successfully will go to Vrindavan. Is our guess. Sometimes when we read the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we think, maybe this time we read it, it'll have a different twist to it. Maybe it will be. We read it one time, say, oh, good. Last time he did this time he did that. Okay, so tomorrow starting here. Okay, and in the morning, so we're reading 2 books, and the other book is a book by Srila Bhaktisundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj, the successor to the founder of the temple, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, and his name is Srila Bhaktisundar Govinda Maharaj. The most wonderful person anybody could ever meet. I mean, very affectionate, very sweet, very deep, and only giving truthful, substantial things for others. And we lived with him for 25 hours a day, 8 days a week for many years. So we saw his whole life, and completely genuine from inside to out, in attitude, in thinking, in behavior, wonderful person. And we are going to read from Revealed Truth, the book, And now I'm a little wondering if I'm in the right place. We're reading from Revealed Truth. Where's your copy of Revealed Truth? What page are you on? Because I may easily be in another place. But it's probably right. Okay, anyway, this is where we are. Probably we ended here. The thing is, I was in East London. And then I just came here. Anyway, I'm sure you all didn't hear. If you heard this yesterday or the day... Well, yesterday you didn't, but the day before. Then very good. No, we didn't read this yesterday. Give me 1 second. Let me just see. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Okay, so now I've got where we were yesterday. But I have to make it a bit bigger because I went to the optician yesterday and he just said, "You're getting old." So, okay. Takes the optician to tell you that, right? When you go and put your eyes and "You're getting old." Okay, getting old. He didn't give me any good advice of how I should prepare for the next chapter, but he's an expert in eyes. Okay, so we are where we are. This we were reading. And where we finished yesterday is Srila Govinda Maharaj speaking. So Jai Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. And the name of the book, Revealed Truth Ki Jai. So in this way, so this is where we finished yesterday. In this way we can understand that God is one, but according to our capacity, we understand Him deeply, more deeply, and most deeply. And because of this, many different forms and conceptions of God consciousness are taught in this world for different persons. God consciousness is always one, but we see that within different conceptions there are different procedures for practicing devotional life, and the different forms of the Lord are worshipped. For example, Ramanuja Acharya worshipped Lakshmi Narayan. Madhva Acharya worshipped Bala Krishna, young Krishna, baby Krishna. Mahaprabhu Sri Chaitanya Dev knew everything, and he taught the procedure to worship Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has the full range of relationships with the Jiva soul. Okay, and now some Sanskrit. By the way, we were reading just now Bengali, which is not so difficult. Sanskrit is the ancient language of the gods. It's the ancient language, and it is the language that the Vedas, the scriptures from thousands of years ago in the Himalayas, put into writing there. That's what they're written in Sanskrit. And it's very complicated, very precise, very expressive, and obviously spoken by intelligent people. And so there was a very great civilization in the past. There weren't all monkeys developing into human beings. There were some actual human beings at that time who were very alert. So the Vedas is coming from a very bright time in the past. So here is here is, this is Sanskrit, but this was actually written more recently. This is by Vishwanath Chakravarti. But this is Sanskrit. Aradyo Bhagavan Brajesha Tannayas Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachit Upasana Braja Vadhu Vargena Vakalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumarto Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matam Idam Tatradara Na Paraha. And this verse is quoted quite often by our teachers. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who was a very exalted devotee in the school of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, presented Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's conception in gist form in this verse. His expression is Nanda Maharaj. No, Nanda Nandan Krishna. Nanda Nandan Krishna of Vrindavan is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the most worshipable form of the Lord. And the Braja Gopis' worship of Krishna is the supreme form of worship. And Srimad Bhagavatam is the supreme scripture. And divine love for Krishna is the supreme goal and wealth of life. Well, that's a wonderful verse to hear, to start our day. Then Srila Govinda Srila Gurudev continuing. We can understand Mahaprabhu Sri Chaitanya Dev's conception, especially his Achintya Bheda Bheda Siddhanta, clearly through the writings of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And Achintya Bheda Bheda Siddhanta. Achintya means inconceivable. We can't put everything in our little head about the whole, anything. But inconceivable, different and non-different. Nothing is separate from the Lord. So everything is a manifestation of Him in some way, but it is also different from Him. Simultaneously, nothing can be separate from the Lord. But at the same time, it is distinct from the Lord. So, distinct and non-distinct from the Lord at the same time. So, don't worry if you don't understand. Already the word achintya has been used. We can't understand it properly, even if we think about it. It is inconceivable how it is. But it's... Okay, so now Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's words, and this is Bengali. Tad vinang shangscha jivan prakriti kavalitang tad vimuktangscha bhavat bheda bheda prakasham sakalam api hare sadhanam shuddha bhaktim. Oh, yeah, so that's from the Dasa Mula Tattva, Nijasa, which is explanation by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching that everything is a manifestation of the Lord. Oh, okay, now you're getting the description. Everything is a manifestation of the Lord and is inconceivably different and non-different from the Lord. The jiva souls, us individuals, for example, are different and non-different from the Lord. And the jiva soul's existence is compared to sun rays which come from the sun, the Lord in this instance, in this example. The jiva soul's existence has almost all the same qualities as the Lord, just as the sun rays have almost the same qualities as the sun. But just as it is the qualities of the sun that exist within the sun rays, so it is the Lord's qualities that exist within the jiva souls. The Lord is supreme and exists with full power and quality, while the jiva souls are very tiny and insignificant. In this way, we can understand the jiva souls and the Lord to be achintya, bhed abheda, inconceivably different and non-different. This is Mahaprabhu's conception. Hare Krishna. Okay, we're over time because I talked too much before. But even though we're over time, short more. Srila Govinda Maharaj continuing. The Lord is all-powerful. He exists with all quality and qualification, and He is never subject to illusion. He is infinite and therefore able to reveal Himself to the finite jiva souls. When the jiva souls pray for his mercy, the Lord can reveal himself to them and give them his ecstatic service. If he could not do this, then he would not be infinite. The jiva souls, though they are finite and subject to illusion, can know the infinite, Krishna, by his will. That is achintya, inconceivable. And that means that the relationship between Krishna and Gurudev is achintya. The relationship between Gurudev and the jiva soul is achintya. And the jiva soul's service to Krishna is also achintya. Yet they all happily exist by the will of Krishna, which is also achintya. So the jiva soul is finite and Krishna is infinite. But everyone has heard so many times that Krishna exists within every soul's heart. This is a firm truth, that Krishna lives in everyone's heart. But how can the infinite live within the finite's heart? Only by the infinite's will, and that is achintya. How exactly it is possible that Krishna exists within the heart of the jiva soul is achintya. Where exactly he exists there is achintya. Okay, we definitely learned the word achintya today, if you didn't know it before. Inconceivable. How the jiva souls can do wrong and go off to the illusory environment when he is present in their heart is also achintya. If Krishna exists in everyone's heart and Krishna's power can remove all inauspiciousness, then why are the jiva souls conditioned in the mundane environment? Why are they attached to the mundane environment? This is also achintya. The jiva souls are simultaneously very near the Lord and very far from the Lord. Their position is achintya. All of these examples are inconceivable relationships. All of these examples of inconceivable relationships can be harmonized naturally through Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's achintya bheda siddhanta. Okay, well, we haven't ended, but we are going to end today. Anyway, if you don't understand anything, now you've definitely heard about the word achintya, which is, it's all ununderstandable, so everything is good. All right, Revealed Truth ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavan Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai. All right, we're meant to finish by 8, but we're a little late. So on page 60 or 62 is Hari Haraya Nama Krishna. We sing just the first 4 verses and then breakfast time. So somebody with a loud voice can sing Hari Haraya 4 verses, then 2 Hare Krishna, then Nitai Gaura Haribol.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govindaram Sri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sangha Gadadhara Srivasari Gaur Bhaktavrinda Jaya Rupa Sanatan Asaraguna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Radha Shiva Sari Gaur Bhakta Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Saprika Shishi Guru Gauranga Sundar, hidden Gauranga Sundar ki Jai, and Jai Shri Giriraj Radha, Giridhari Ju hidden ki Jai, and Jai Navadip, and Chaitanya Saraswat ki Jai, and the date is Saprika Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandhava Govinda Sundar Ju ki Jai, and Jai Shri Gurudev Shri Govinda Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Guru Maharaj, Shri Shri Ram Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada, Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai, and Jai Bhagavan Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai, Shri Rupanuga Guru Bhaga ki Jai, present day Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Brinda ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. So let us not delay the morning activities. We should go for breakfast as soon as possible because we stayed in here a little longer. And here's the boss. This is Saraswati here to look after us. Oh yes, the camera is on. We're in the association of, we need a manager. Everywhere needs to have some coordinator. And Saraswati is doing that. Seva very responsibly. With the help of the team, yes, the manager is also the servant of the devotees, looking after everyone. Jai. And Dandavat to all on the other side of the camera as well as here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha